Okay, let's go. I just have to warn everybody. We are going into some pale waters, pale places, full of absurd debauchery, absurd insanity coming from white people. And this Zoom live is taking forever to load up. What's going on? Oh, Ray, what is where's your icon from?
That is Ray Fillet from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he is in conflict with Shredder, basically saying he is going to vanquish evil.
Understand. I'm trying to do the live again. The first attempt didn't go through for some reason. All righty. We are here. Oh, they already have a person in chat. Greetings. Greetings. Oh, snaps. Almost forgetting. Let me send this to Evolutionists for Justice, because I definitely did not do that. Just in case. And make sure. Okay. Alrighty. Just have to share this.
Oh, apparently, in case you guys know anyone that's inflicted with this this virus, the one that's going around, is apparently pine needle tea and angiographis work wonders apparently. So if you guys are familiar with those herbs, pine needle tea and angiographis.
Thank you, Mr. Smoky Damages. Always constructive to receive information. That sort of information.
No probs.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to R.I.P.S, Racism in Plain Sight, a program designed to expose the debauchery, incorrectness, and infinite reasons why we should be attempting to eliminate racism and white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice ASAP. This show is designed to diminish confusion around what racism is and how it works. This program falls under fair use. I know I am not a white person, but it's been said I have the right to free speech and to use this information to teach non-white people things that we should have known coming out of the womb. But I don't want to digress. Let's just get straight into it with our first clip.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga. Woo! He's a life changer, miracle arranger, born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger, and he died for your sins. I preach the word, that's my gig, and I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs, I wish them well, but if you live in sin, you burn in hell. Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust a rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a nigga. Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah. Jesus Christ is a nigga. He's our homie MC JC, you see. He's an honest, caring, peace-loving nigga like me. If you do drugs and you think you're cool, you need to come to Sunday school. Put those drugs in a garbage can. Stand up tall, you're a Christian man. Word up. I'm freestyling.
Hit me.
Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more. All right.
Elucidate.
Wow. Shout out to Smoking Damages for putting this on the radar because this was incredible. We're diving into Area 7, religion. This area, people activity has non-white people, especially Black people, in a mind control death trap. And I think this display of racism and white supremacy is really, really incredible. And it does have some truth in it. Because if you recall our studies from the ISIS papers, so-called Jesus Christ was potentially a non-white male who was killed by the Romans, aka white people. So that is correct. Jesus is a non-white person victim, maybe. I noticed that when they said people go to hell, like if you live in sin, you're gonna burn in hell. I noticed that the imagery there was just dark figures. It was just dark figures there. That was really interesting. And just the how casually these white supremacists are able to say nigga with ease. Just let me know that they are very comfortable saying this word behind the scenes, probably with an ER, not with an A. Religion is so dangerous to non-white people, especially religion that comes from white people like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Is all dangerous for a non-white person to to attempt to practice these religions without understanding where they came from, and that white people have created these religions for control. It seems like these white people are like attempting to recruit non-white people to the church, which will, of course, confuse non-white people further. Black people going to church, jumping up and down, catching the Holy Ghost is part of the reason we have not been able to get out of this circular thought when talking about how to solve this problem. Because getting on our knees and praying to Jesus Christ or God is not going to stop white people from destroying us with their system of white supremacy. Praising the Lord is not going to stop us from being victims of racism, white supremacy. We actually need to use our thought, speech, and behavior to counter all areas of people activity, religion being a very, very important one as well. So I think that's all I have to say. Maybe the comments from the fellow host will give me some more insight, but I'll be my line.
This is just very non-constructive on all levels. And this is just refining the tactics of racist man and racist woman. It's good that they're right there pictured next to each other. All around the globe, under the guise of Christianity, Jesus, the calm has always came before the storm with these people. And religion, Black people, just my suggestion, we're going to have to take an honest look at religion. It's done absolutely nothing constructive for our existence. And it's just used to refine and maintain the system. I'll be in my line.
Yeah, thanks to it was Ray that brought it to our attention. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Ray that brought that to our attention. There, it's a classic example for me of white people creating the monster, which is non-white people, and then criticizing the monster, mimicking the monster, right? Just mimicking the monstrosities that they've created. So they're mimicking obviously some aspects of destructive behavior in what we call rap, which is not what I call hip hop, because hip hop's a massive culture and rap music is what it's become now. It's what it's descended into. And it's exactly when I was looking at that. Yeah, the black figures are the ones that are burning in hell as well. And interesting, when the woman was when she started doing her little rap, then she said she's proud to be an American, and I suspect that being proud to be an American means proud to be a white American and not a black one. And all the things that she was pointing out when she said about I don't sag and I don't cuss and I don't brag, and then she had a picture of gold, which obviously is meant to mimic black people with gold chains and stuff like that when we're in like these rap videos, etc. And cussing, another thing that white people associate with black people, even though they do use curse words themselves. Sagging pants as well. We've got sagging pants laws. Well, in some parts of the world they got sagging pants laws, and that's associated obviously with non-white people, mostly black people. And that's what I've got to say about that. And really, I think I'm not even sure if it's an attempt to bring non-white people to the church, because I suspect that the pastor and his wife do not like or do not want to be around black people in their church. I think it's just an attempt to mock black people. It's just another attempt it's just white people having fun in the system. Like Neely Fuller Jr. says, one aspect of white supremacy is just white people having fun. A lot of them practice white supremacy to just have fun and laugh at non-white people. Say, look at these Negroes over here. Look at that, man. Let's just take the piss. And it's worth mentioning as well, with Natalie Portman did a similar kind of thing, and some people would probably not draw the comparison, but I'd just like to say, I mean, with Natalie Portman, she didn't exactly come out and call black people niggers like these two people did, but she inferred it, basically. She was basically taking the piss out of black people as well in her little Saturday Night Live rap. Anyone can go and check that out on YouTube and see if and judge it for themselves if see if I'm correct or not. And also the content creator, the person who uploaded the video on YouTube, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the comments, I think underneath he said he recorded that video with his pastor. So the person went and recorded that video, quote unquote, helped the pastor to record this video. And under that, when you see like what his channel's about, he claims that he's a good Christian or something like that. And I suspect that he does not practice Christianity. He practices racism, white supremacy, along with the pastor and his wife.
Agree. And with your insight, I actually have to, change my assumption. I don't think that they were attempting to recruit non-white people, because they could have gone about doing that in a much more refined way. So I think you're very much correct in your observations, Mr. Smokey Damages, that they are just mocking non-white people and then having fun. It is interesting that she said proud American, not proud Christian, but proud American, because anyone can pretend to be a Christian. But if you understand code words and how white people have designed this globe, you will understand that American, European, Italian, all these just code words for white. So they're very much proud to be white. They have lived a long life of practicing racism under the guise of so-called Christianity. And really important observation from Mr. Ray, equal parties and dominating non-white people, racist man, a racist woman, equal parties. The white woman is so important and often goes under the radar. So again, I appreciate this clip because we see the racist man and racist woman doing what they do best.
I suspect that she listened to. Oh, go ahead, Smoking Damages. Go ahead.
No. There you go. Go ahead.
I suspect that the white wife, that she listened to a lot of so-called rap music, and notice how she rhymes. Notice the rhythm of it. Definitely, yeah. She's definitely, both of them definitely listen to rap music and so-called rap music, and she definitely listened to it. I think a lot of it with the way that she came up with her rap, like how she was, the way that the style that she used. So definitely, she was copying somebody. I mean, my line.
Yeah, I think she definitely was copying someone. I think the person she was copying was the content creator who said he helped the pastor and his wife create this video. It's a younger white male, and I suspect probably the younger white male is the one that is more familiar, I guess, probably with I don't know, rapping technique, cadence, etc. And I suspect he probably wrote the rap for them. Probably, but I don't know. And I think it's probably worth mentioning as well, which I didn't mention before, this video has 77 million views. 77 million views. That's incredible. Like, I guess it's exactly like we were saying before, part of a core aspect of practicing racism, white supremacy is fun. They have fun doing it. They have fun dominating and mistreating Black people especially, but non-white people in general. But 77 million views. And actually in the comment section, anyone's welcome to go look in the comment section underneath that video. There's nothing but praise, right? There's thousands and thousands of comments underneath this video, and there's so much praise. I urge other non-white people who are looking at this, who are looking at this, the Counter Racist book club, to just go and check out the book club and have a good insight into what white people think of Black people, and especially when other white people are mocking us. Have a good look at what white people. If you think white people are not all racist, or there's some good white people, they don't really practice racism. Racism's not all that bad. They did it. He put the video up there because he knew it would be appreciated by most white people. I'll mute my line.
Excellently put, Mr. Smoky Damages. For the next three pieces of content, I'm just gonna play three pieces of content, and then we're gonna discuss them. There's a movie trailer and some ghastly content from the internet, and when I say ghastly, I mean incorrect behavior. But I mean, yeah, I'll let the content speak for itself until we discuss it. So I'm gonna play three pieces of content really quickly, and then we're gonna discuss. Again, YouTube, white power structure. This is fair use. All right.
Once there was a place in the woods where they sent people who didn't fit into the real world.
Welcome, Jacob.
Species identity disorder can be cured so that a person who thinks themselves an animal can resume a happy, healthy, and rewarding life.
I want to do it. It's the best thing for everyone.
You're all gonna end up wonderful human beings.
They say the wolf and the wildcat are natural enemies. But they're wrong.
How long have you been here?
Since I can remember.
We call him the zookeeper. Keep clear of him.
Ever think of running away?
Only one person ever did.
I've always had this feeling, these instincts.
Stop. You're gonna get us caught.
I can't.
It's a cruel, cruel world. Once upon a time, there was a wolf and a wildcat. I wanted to live happily ever after.
It's not just about surviving, but surviving is me.
Do you really think you can have a life with that boy?
But life is no fairy tale. Is it? So I'm saying my goodbyes.
I'm running.
I'm running. Goodbye to my good side.
I'm breathing.
I'm breathing.
Do you want things to get worse for you?
I have no human form.
I have no human form. Jacob, what have they done to you?
My name's Marie, and I am 3. I would really like to see a tree. La 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 lee. I said let it grow.
All right. It's unfortunate I have to expose you all to this nonsense, but this is the kind of confusion white people are cracking out. You know, they have certain white people identifying with animals now. And it's just really incorrect. It reminds me of of Area 8 and all the sexual confusion that's coming along in that area. And if you hop on Twitter and type in pokephilia zoophile, you will understand that people are now attracted to animals and Pokemon. So yeah, we're dealing with some really incorrect things. And I think this movie, Wolf, is of course, going to spread more confusion and is also glamorizing what I am calling a form of insanity. Thinking that you are an animal, associating yourself with any sort of animal, I think that's a form of intense insanity. And the only line I from this quote that I thought was significant was the white person saying, "I have no human form." In a system of white supremacy, that is correct. White people have never been so-called humane to people on this planet. They have spent their entire existence, history, eradicating people, killing people, raping people, murdering babies, and doing all sorts of things simply to expand white supremacy, refine white supremacy. So they're taking confusion to a whole new level. Some of these people that like this person right here, and she may identify as a furry, but I'm not even gonna get into that. I just understand that it's white supremacy just causing massive amounts of confusion. I don't see the constructive results of any person pretending to be a fox or a wolf or anything like that, anything of the nature. But white people have so much time and energy on their hands that they empower that they can like role play as furries, animals. Next thing you know, they're gonna be saying that they're, well, no, I would say alien, but if we got an article from Ray where white people are already calling themselves aliens. So it's just a look into the insaneness of white supremacy and white people. I really wish I had some more thoughts, but I really just can't even analyze this behavior that well because it's just so bizarre to me. But I'll meet my line. I see Mr. Ray has some thoughts to share.
Yes, sir. May I read a small excerpt from the Grandcestor, Dr. Welsing, on this matter? All right, this is from chapter 2 of the ISIS papers, page 27, alienation, anxiety, and narcissism. Additional symbolism in Western civilization and culture leads further support to this thesis. For example, the dog, rather than God, proverbially is considered Western man's best friend. This is contrary to the beliefs of skin-pigmented people regarding their relationship to God. This Western concept of the dog as man's best friend is linked to the mythology of the founding of Rome. According to this mythology, Rome was founded by two orphans, Romulus and Remus, who were suckled by a wolf. Both the wolf and the dog are canines. These two, presumably white infants, are said to have founded the state that began Western civilization and culture. When this is decoded, Romulus and Remus are the symbolic representatives of the early albinos who were abandoned by their Black mothers in Africa as genetic mutant defectives, and in the process of their northward migration for survival were, quote, left to the dogs, suckled by wolves. This decoding explains the worship and love of the dog, canine, in Western civilization. Western man's affection for the dog is reflected in the fact that in 1978 in New York City, dogs were permitted to put 250,000 pounds of fecal matter on the streets each day, defiling the environment for human beings. And is this love and worship of the dog reflected in the mirror image of the words God and dog? Even at this advanced stage in the expression and evolution of Western civilization and culture. Further, as relationships among people become more alienated, Western peoples and those non-white peoples who have been influenced most heavily by Western culture are gaining more satisfaction from feeding, clothing, loving, and kissing canines than in feeding, clothing, loving, and kissing human beings. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson.
Oh, well, thank you, Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. Very timeless. That book, The ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Color, timeless piece of counter-racist material that every non-white person should have read cover to cover. Thank you, Mr. Ray. That was very, very necessary, and just allows me to understand this behavior just so much better, because understanding everything in the context of white supremacy is the best way to go about it, because it all relates to the system of white supremacy. Some new insight I have is that this behavior, like, and this is just small. I could have I saw so much nonsense, but this was more of the tame stuff that I feel comfortable in sharing with you all. So this is just white people just going back to to their roots, of associating themselves more with their animal friends than people. White people don't care about other white people. They only care about the system of white supremacy. I don't even think white people love each other. I do think they love animals, though, especially dogs and canines, especially after that reading. It's just really, really, really bizarre. And they have no shame. This is being glorified. This community, this furry community, is often made fun of, but now they have a entire feature-length film coming out essentially about them, but it's highly, highly glamorized. And I did see a non-white female inside this film, and I just hope victims that are exposed to this film do not come out that theater thinking that their dogs are wolves or something, because they're just, it's insanity. We already have so much role playing going on amongst non-white people in Area 8, and this is just going to add tons of more confusion. But Neely Fuller says that they're gearing up to just bestiality, zoophilia. They're gearing that up to make this normal, and this film should be an indication for that reality. And just this small example. Actually, one second. I'm just gonna play a couple of seconds of this, y'all. A couple of seconds, just so we can see, so y'all can see this furry phenomenon I'm talking about. I'm just gonna play a couple of seconds. I won't traumatize you all too much.
Girl, you're working with some ass hand. Your bad jam, make a nigga spend his cash hand. His last hand holds found with your passion.
That's enough. That's enough. But look, this, you can see a bunch of people role playing as foxes, wolves, animals, white animals, essentially. And yeah, this is white supremacy 101. Insanity. White people having time and energy to participate in stuff like this because they have dominated the globe. So really incorrect. I don't see the constructive results unless what Francis Cress Wilson says is correct. Then it's just white people expressing their ancient roots.
It's also interesting, whenever a canine, first of all, a canine is considered a law enforcement official. So a canine law enforcement official has as much rights as a white person. And if the race soldiers are terrorizing a victim, or just anyone for that matter, and a canine is assaulted, then that charge is assault on a police officer. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, and I've had thoughts like, so if I'm getting mauled by a so-called canine dog, I can't defend myself. I'm supposed to let this beast maul me, or I'm gonna get assault charges and assault on an officer. But this is the system we're living in. Remember Michael Vick? They put that black male in prison for harming, allegedly harming dogs. actress relayed to me that there's a video from Ghana of a white guy cursing out the non-white people in Ghana for eating dogs. So white people definitely care more about dogs than non-white people, for sure. That should be well known. So if you are a non-white person, you think you have white friends, don't get caught in a situation where your so-called white friend has to choose between you or that dog, because that dog is getting saved way faster than you are. Guaranteed. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Smoky Damages.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first video that you played with it was the one I believe it's called Wolf. When I might be reaching too much, but usually when you see a white female that's apparently going with this, who's enamored with this beast, apparently, right? And I know a lot of white people refer to black people as beasts, especially black males, right? And the reactions of her friends and family around her, probably when she's going with this beast and she's not allowed this forbidden love, right, with this animal person. It just kind of reminds me of the incorrect sexual relationships between white people and non-white people, tragic arrangements. But that's what kind of sprang to mind when I was first watching that. And yeah, we've had a few documentaries in England about these furries, these groups of people that call themselves furries. They dress up as animals in order to have sexual intercourse with each other. Very, very strange. Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of documentaries like that over here years and years ago. It's amazing. And a lot of people, I just look at it as just some other more white supremacists, or suspected white supremacists, just promoting some more insanity, stupidity, confusion, and just basically glamorizing animal rape. That's what I look at that as. They first of all, they say stuff like, what do they call it? They call it zoophilia, or they call themselves, some of them call themselves zoophiles, not the furries, because I don't think the furries have sex with actual animals, but the zoophiles, apparently they call, and words are very important, as we know, right? So it's zoo meaning animals and phile meaning love, apparently. So it's love of animals. And people with that type of insanity always like to try and justify their incorrect behavior by using these ridiculous terms like zoophile. You can't have sex with an animal. It's animal rape, basically, because an animal, as far as I can understand, cannot consent to sex with a human being by any stretch of the imagination. So these white people that are doing that are committing animal rape. They know they are, but they're just going to call it something else like zoophile in order to justify their incorrect behavior.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I had queued it up, but there is a video of a zoophile just telling their sharing their thoughts and how they go about their relationship with their dog, and it would have been very fitting for this content, but just the images on the screen should be alarming to people. Like, this is not normal. Dogs are kind of known for putting their noses and shit, licking all kinds of things. And we have all these images of white people or people who have been severely conditioned by the system of white supremacy, literally making out essentially with pet bulls. Just super incorrect. This is I've also noticed that what going back to what Ray quoted from the ISIS papers, I have noticed that a lot of non-white people have tiny white dogs, and that could be related to the system of white supremacy. I'm quite sure, but definitely dogs would not even exist without white people creating these abominations in the first place. They literally have genetically engineered these creatures to be their submissive animal slaves. Essentially, that's what a dog is. It's like so obedient and submissive to their owners. So of course, white people have no problem getting these dogs who sexually pleasure them and justify it as love, whatnot. But love don't exist in the system of white supremacy. White people just like getting off on just sickness. Just has to be some sort of acute sickness going on that white people will not be honest about and calling it that way. So this is what they have geared up for non-white people. They want us on this trajectory as well. They want us being furries. They want us, thinking that we're wolves, we're dogs and whatnot. In a sense, they already have us on that frequency somewhat because in a system of white supremacy area 3 entertainment, where my dogs at, that's promoted a lot in so-called rap hip hop. So, but they're trying to take it much farther.
This reminds me of a TV series called Raised by Wolves, I think it's called. And wolves are close to dogs. They're not exactly dogs, but they're close to it. And a lot of white people, even though white people created the show, a lot of white people were upset by the show. And I don't know if it's still on, but I know there was talks of pulling it because it was just, I think the reason why white people were upset because it was hitting too close to home, revealing too much. That's what I suspect. I mute my line.
And yeah, and that show on its own is just white supremacy to the max. I'm just gonna give just that show has a powerful white female and a powerless, pitiful black male attempting to start a new society. It's really bizarre. And thank you, Ms. Helen. This is a video. I'm just gonna play a tad bit. Maybe this person clipped it, but this is a person who originally here from the.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Oh, never mind. I do not want to hear this guy. So let me.
Hey, yo, Five, I sent you a video. It's a 2-minute clip of a white woman talking about how zoophile is not bestiality. I sent it to you on the Blue app.
The Blue app. All right. Let me just play that one, so I don't have to look for the clip that I was attempting, but because this will be great. All right. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Ray. So let's play this one.
Y'all, it's Ellie. Actually, we're gonna discuss that. So, you all know me as Ellie. Okay. Big news. I have a lot of stuff to tell you guys. I changed my name to Monty Man. I'm so happy to get that off my chest. Anyways, I would prefer if you call me Lonty Man from now on. I don't want you guys calling me Ellie. Lonty Man is the way to go. It matches my Discord username, yeah. Anyways, number 2. This is really big for me. I am a furry. I've been a furry for, I don't know. I started being a furry like last month, but I've known my whole life that I was gonna end up being a furry. So I'm happy to finally announce to the public that I'm furry. Okay, anyways. Number 3. I can't wait to tell you. Okay, so I changed my pronouns. I'm no longer she, her. I am Peter Griffin. So, if you don't know how to, use Peter Griffin in a sentence, you go, I don't know, okay, this is, the she, her, this is how you say. I didn't see her yesterday. Did you see she? Wait, no, fuck. I didn't see her yesterday. Maybe she went to the store. You would say, I didn't see Peter yesterday. Maybe Griffin went to the store, you know? Thank you. Just try to use that. Number 3, I changed my sexuality. I am now a zoophile, which means I am only attracted to animals. But that's not bestiality, I swear. It's not bestiality. I just want to have sex with the animals, that's it. What am I doing? But yeah, have sex with the animals, that's it. That's not bestiality, I swear. It's not bestiality. I just want to have sex with the animals, that's it. What am I doing? But yeah, that's it. Also, if you were wondering what my furry outfit is, it's a cat, if I want to be feisty. And it's a fox if I'm like in a cranky mood, because I'll scratch you up, man. Knock you up. I'm gonna put you down. But yeah.
Golly, straight from the serpent's mouth. She just wants to have sex with the animals. If I heard it correctly, it's just kind of, and this is very recent too. This is
Is this
incredible.
video for real though? I'm suspecting that she's trolling. I'm
I don't
suspecting
know.
that she's trolling. This can't be real. This
I
is
don't-
this. I'm suspecting that she's trolling here when she said that I'm going to turn my pronouns Peter Griffin from Family Guy, right? Is that the one? Is that the guy she's talking about from the cartoon Family Guy? I suspect that she's trolling. I could be incorrect.
She may idolize Peter. Hey, there were some interesting scenes from that TV show involving the family dog and the eighth area of activity. I can't even say people activity because that's an animal.
Alrighty, so yeah, that show Family Guy has everything in it. Online areas of people activity, the acute insanity. That show is famous for that very reason, just being just a beacon for white supremacist mentalities. So this is the one who is also a white person who seeks sexual arrangements with animals, is how I'm going to put it. But this is the Zeta principle, I guess the zoophile rules or whatever. And number one is bestow upon animals the same kindness one would wish bestowed upon oneself. Consider the well-being of an animal companion as important as one's own. Place the animal's will and well-being ahead of one's desires for sexual gratification. Teach those who seek knowledge about zoophilia and bestiality without promoting it. Discourage the practice of bestiality in the presence of fetish seekers. I think it's supposed to be censor sexual exploitation of animals for the purpose of financial gain. Censor those practices and promote animal sex abuse. So this is a suspected white supremacist who admits to having an arrangement for their dog. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I suspect it is I don't know. I'm not even gonna guess. I really don't know. But it's quite a lengthy video. Let me just see if I can get lucky. And just click here, and we'll give it about a couple of minutes.
I have always loved animals in this kind of way. Even back when I was 11, that would probably be the earliest that I remember, I always found comfort and love in animals. I would lie down with them for hours, sleep cuddled up with them, and never treat myself as any better. My 2 golden retrievers at the time were my place of safety and comfort. And no, I did not do anything sexual with them. It was something that later on I had always thought about, but I was so ashamed for so long about being the way that I am. It caused a lot of mental pain and turmoil. And yes. But recently, after discovering there's other people with similar feelings to me and ideals, it has inspired me enough to have this message. And that would include online resources like the Zooier Than Thou podcast and some other people that I've met through some internet forums. And really what I want to do is to educate people about what it means specifically to be a zoophile, and that there are shades of gray, not this black and white evil nonsense, comparing someone like me to a freak that forces themselves onto animals and commits horrendous animal abuse. This is to have a personal conversation with my community, furries, zoophiles, and others, and I am more than happy to answer questions or be interviewed in a neutral manner. With that out of the way, I'm going to switch to more of a podcast-style video. Just going to start recording, and cool. So, it's really good to have you here. It's good to be talking again. And
it's my honor to be your guest.
Awesome, cool. So this isn't going to be.
Oh, I remember now. It's the guy that she brings on that admits to having sex with the dog. All right. Dang, I don't want to spend too much time on this. So here's the link. Everyone who wants it, it's right here. You can see it here. Wish I would have clicked on a different part of the video, but there you have it. It's this is what's being promoted. And yeah.
Yeah, in the context of racism, white supremacy, I guess what springs to mind is, like I was saying before, people that engage in these types of things, just the basic psychology of those types of people and the pathology, right? They're so pathological in the way that they practice these types of things, right? So back in the day, obviously plantation times, etc., when they wanted to justify what they were doing to us, plantation, like formal slavery days, one could say. You know, they came up with all different types of justifications. You know, black people don't feel as much pain as white people do, etc. And if they wanted to escape from the plantation, was it drapetomania or something like that? I think they called it fear of not being a slave anymore, right? So when you really want to justify what you're doing, you'll come up with any old type of ridiculousness about, you know, just it's basically it's animal rape. But they just don't want to come out and call it that. So they'll just say, well, the animal wants to. The animal, the animal chose me. No, it didn't. It's just like you're just having a conversation with the animal in your own head, and you just decided to engage in some sort of sexual activity with the animal because you know the animal cannot really refuse because you dominate the animal.
Of course, you know, the Yurugu, that power and control, that's their bread and butter. That's what they love, power and control. And I can't think of anything easier to control than a creature that was engineered to be submissive, like a dog. So really incorrect. And like you can see the Yurugu and their speech and how they will try to rationalize insanity with comparing themselves to a person who rapes animals without consent versus a person who develops a relationship with the animal and then gets consent from the animal to have sex with it. However the hell that is supposed to work, I don't know. But this is what that video is saying, is putting out there. All right, continuing, and like we're going away from zoophilia and stuff, but it's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. I'm going. Where is it? Oh yeah, and I will not torment you all by playing this entire thing. I cannot do that. I can't. But I will play a bit. Any comments before I move forward?
Yeah, I wanted to comment. So it's interesting. Like I came in during this bit. I actually met a Yurugu from Italy who had video footage of a Australian female who had moved to England. She had positioned herself in doggy position and then tapped on her butt, and then her dog, proceeded to, insert her and have sex with her. So I'm not surprised that I'm seeing pictures of humans, white Urugus, white people tongue kissing dogs. Uh, I've been aware of this incident. It's just quite. It's interesting that this is being allowed to be on YouTube, but the book club stuff gets highly surveillance, highly scrutinized, and suppressed. Quite unfortunate, Seems like anything that's incorrect is going to be allowed to, grow and flourish. Tragic.
Well said, Mr. Sir. And aren't you aware of a group of white people who are making a film called Horse Fucker?
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that as well. But yeah, there's a. I just saw an email. I'm actually the COVID supervisor for these people. But long story short, I saw the brief, and it's about it looks like a white male who's longing to have sex with a horse, and he meets a horse, and they start a sexual romance together. So it seems like everything is happening as planned. Students are getting the messages, and the people on the outside are getting the messages as well. Horse fucker, gonna be interesting. It's black and white too.
Incredible. Just the debauchery. The subtitle of this video is "Let's End This Nonsense." All right, that's the goal, to end this nonsense. And continuing, let's go here to so much and so much animosity for this particular piece of content, and maybe you'll see why.
Feel empowered, and especially women who are thick. I'm sorry, but there's a big difference between being thick. Feel empowered, and especially women who are thick. I'm sorry, but there's a big difference between being thick and being obese. Do whatever the fuck you want to do with your body. Nobody's stopping.
That's where that should have stopped. That's where this garbage video should have ended. Unfortunately for all of us, it did not. But that's okay, because the universe brought you to me. I clear men like this on the fucking daily, bitch. But you know what? I cleared a spot for you, brother. I cleared my sketch. Cause you came from my fucking girl, Tess. Not on my watch. First of all, let's get this out of the way. Tess Holliday is one of the most famous models in the world. Did you hear what I said? In the world, bitch. When it comes,
We don't need to listen to that much. We don't need to listen to any more of this. I think she's just defending the white person, and I'm gonna refer to this victim as that bitch because clearly she doesn't mind referring to herself as that bitch. So we have here that bitch. I suspect this is a non-white person, but I cannot tell. She may be a white person with a lot of makeup on or something, but she seems like a non-white person, that bitch. And what she's doing is she's defending this this model who is clearly obese, clearly could improve her health by, I don't know, losing some weight maybe, or putting some more correct things into her body. But we have a correct thinking victim of racism right here on the left, who's like making a lot of logical sense. And then we have that bitch who goes on to defend a white woman by making fun of the non-white male, making fun of his looks and a bunch of nonsense. So this is a perfect example of how white people would promote absolute insanity, talking about being fat as hell, literally killing yourself with large amounts of poison, they will take something like that and call it body positivity. Slowly eating yourself to death is now called body positivity, and this person is defending that. And this is what happens in the system of white supremacy. White people will do things and promote insanity, and some of the first people to defend them will be non-white people. Case in point, that bitch. But then again, I can't tell what her racial classification is. She has the giant eyelashes, the long fingernails. She seems highly ghetto glorified, highly niggerized, and the laugh are just it's just crushing. This is I hate this clip. I hate this video, but this is what's happening in the system. And TikTok is such a dangerous place. It's like, because it's more people like her on TikTok than correcting people on TikTok who are attempting to solve the race problem. So if you guys want to hear the rest of the video, let me know. I don't think it's necessary to get the point. But yeah,
I don't think it's necessary to complete the video. I was just talking about this to someone, a fellow victim of racism, white supremacy, and I said that certain musicians and artists are not promoting body positivity when they're not, doing things that puts them in them out to promote health position, which to me means like faster, better, stronger. The model Tess Holiday, I looked her up, and she has 2.3 million followers on Instagram. So that's nowhere near as the most famous model in the world. I think you have to have at least 200 something plus million to be competing with the Kims and the Kardashians and the whatnots. But yeah, I think it's totally incorrect to promote this behavior and to say this is body positivity. Maybe it's consumption, positivity, where it's positive to consume whatever you want without any repercussions, or without facing the accountability of the consequences. But promoting obesity and all that stuff is just totally incorrect. And I'm not surprised that there's a non-white victim, following the trend and trying to come for the Asian male, whatever that means, and she cleared her sketch, speaking in a really, really just dumb way. It's very tragic.
Yeah, and Tessa, whatever her name is, if you do some research on her, she's also a white supremacist. She has said a number of incorrect things about non-white people. So not only is she defending a white supremacist, she's defending a white supremacist who's promoting just insanity. And it reminds me of Lizzo. Lizzo's also a victim of racism who promotes just existing in a state of slow death. Non-white people, we suffer from the most when it comes to diabetes, when it comes to being overweight, being obese. We suffer the most. So if you see a non-white person promoting it, then you should know that that non-white person has a dead mind, should not be taken seriously. And I just long for a planet where these people no longer exist. Any more comments on this clip?
Yeah, I'll say, how can I say? I don't really want to say anything about the non-white musical artist who a lot of people are quite familiar with that she's considered very, very much overweight. And all the white people that I know absolutely love this non-white female because she's so overweight and because she's not talking about doing anything about the system of racism, white supremacy. They love her. She's a kind of a cute, quote unquote, cute, cuddly black female that they love, right? If she was talking about ending the system of racism, white supremacy, she probably wouldn't have a record deal any longer. That's my suspicion, and that's my suspicion of why a lot of white people love her so much. And this white female in particular, I can imagine if she wants to sexually sewer any non-white males, particularly black males, I suspect that she probably will be able to without much difficulty. Unfortunately, wish that wasn't the case, but I suspect she probably wouldn't have any kind of difficulty finding some non-white males to sexually sewer.
Yeah, and just look at all these tattoos, which indication of like the want for color in one's skin. And tragically, you're probably correct. You know, this white female will have no problem capturing non-white males, non-white females, whoever she chooses. And it's just whack. This is whack. These are the controllers of the universe. White people, controllers of the universe currently.
People who are watching this video, please notice that when it comes to white women who are overweight and they lose weight, see how they are promoted over. Notice how they are promoted over non-white victims who, when they're overweight, yeah, you go, girl, yeah, you know, that's a good thing. Oh, you know, no body shaming and fat positivity or whatever. But when Adele and there's another female named Rebel Wilson, when they lost weight, they, you know, it was fine. And they weren't encouraged when they were heavy. I mute my line.
That reminds me of black female celebrity known as Monique. Yeah, they were never encouraging her to lose weight, and she, you know, glorified, you know, an obese lifestyle. And it seems that she's getting more flack, you know, now that she's attempting to lead a healthier lifestyle. You know, that is worthy of interest.
Yep. Testament to how this system works. You know, black people are encouraged to do anything that leads them to the grave, prison, or a psych ward. You know, who cares about, you know, having all of the diseases that come with a poor diet, incorrect diet of just nonsense. And I think I may be in error, but I do recall some commotion or some nonsense occurring when Lizzo spoke out about her weight in a somewhat honest way, but I may be in error, so I don't need to discuss that further. But yeah, obese non-white people are no threat to the system of white supremacy. If anything, they support the system because eventually they will need medicine that white people will provide them to keep them alive longer, but won't actually heal them, to keep them alive longer. So yeah, this is it has to end. This literally has to end. Because they are refining the monsters and monstrosities. You know, first they made us gangsters and gangbangers and niggas. Now they're making us, you know, just giant Oompa Loompas walking around planet Earth being silly. It has to end. Let me play the next one. Wonderful insight from everyone. Go ahead, Mr. Smoky Damages.
They're pulling out. They're pulling out, fam. Get out the car.
You just told me you love me.
Get out the car.
You just told me you love me. Bitch! I told you, bitch! I ain't scared of you, hoe!
Hey, turn my, no, they're coming back. Turn my car off, Dakota.
Come on!
Turn my car off.
Come on!
How am I supposed to jump in if I have the phones?
Come on!
Get it.
He touches me, Dakota.
Dakota.
If he touches me.
No dudes be touching no female though. Come on now. It's a girl fight.
I heard some other shit. Why you talking shit?
It's a girl on girl fight. Come on now.
Yeah, Jackie.
It's a girl on girl fight. Okay, just grab her. Don't hit her, okay? Just grab her. Don't hit her. Don't hit her.
Hey, wait, just chill. Hey.
Come on, just grab her.
Jackie.
What the fuck you mean? Let go of my motherfucking old lady.
Jackie, move.
Just grab her. Don't hit her.
Get off my motherfucking old lady, nigga. Get off of me.
Let go of my old lady, nigga.
Let go of my motherfucking old lady.
Let go of her.
Let go. What now?
Let go. Let go of her. Let go of her. Let go of her.
Come on.
Jackie, get the fuck off of him. For real. I love you, that bitch is hard. Nah, man, I heard you talking shit, bitch. That ain't cool. Who said anything about you? That ain't cool, nigga. You ain't gonna talk shit about me. Who said anything about you? Cause bitch, I love you better than life itself. I picked you up when a nigga beat the brakes. It don't matter, nigga. You sit there talking shit about me. Who and them niggas all up in my inbox and I love you. That's why I don't fuck with that trifling ass nigga. I let
Hey, my feet hot.
you.
My feet hot.
I don't know.
It's alright, man. You can leave.
I don't need you, nigga. I don't need no junkie, nigga.
It's alright. You can go. It's good.
No, I'm not, bitch. I don't need no junkie. That's why you got your ass slit. Bitch. I ain't got shit on me, hoe. Y'all get a nigga, bitch, cause my man whooped him and I whooped him too.
Hey.
Kiss my ass, hoe. Let go of her.
Come on.
Wow. So here we have the tacky, trashy, and terroristic white behavior. Mr. Sturdy, would you like to share some words?
Wow. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I am blown away that I heard that connotation, that dialect, and all I saw were white people. The nigger troglodyte has returned. They are here. You know, they are back in full effect. It's just very obvious that they embody this barbaric behavior, and they projected this image onto non-white people when in fact that they are the true ghetto birds in the universe. This is a fascinating video. I was so blown away, you know, but now I know not to be surprised by anything, you know, and that word has been co-opted by everyone. White supremacists gave it to Black people, and then Black people, you know, didn't give it to anyone else. It just got used by everybody else. But yeah, very great video, very shocking stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Ray sent a number of videos like this where it involves white people fighting each other, harming each other, and while calling each other nigga, just like a ghetto glorification from the on the white side. This is very, as you said, this is phenomenal. This is so trashy and tacky and terroristic. But these people here still have more power than everyone on this call. Unfortunately, if they wanted to like so-called change their lives around and become incredibly constructive and powerful white people, they very much well could. but they choose to role play as these niggas, these hood niggas or whatever they're pretending. No, they're not pretending. This is this is them, you know. If this is probably fun for them as well, you know. And well, of course, them having those the black people and their association, I'm pretty sure that gives them even more of a thrill, of a joy to be able to say nigga and fight white people, it's often done amongst black people, fighting each other, calling each other bitches and niggas while knocking each other out. But on the white side, this also happens. You know, there is a large number of tacky, trashy, trifling, terroristic whites who have a ton of fun calling other white people niggas and bitches while beating the hell out of them. So yeah, like violence, harming people is just a white trait, a white behavior. Any more comments on this clip?
I just want to ask the powerful white people at YouTube to not take these videos down, because as you can see, these videos were compiled from YouTube. So please do not punish the victims of white supremacy for compiling them and talking about them. We got everything, and we got all resources from you, good white people who allowed us this material.
Well said. That's correct. All of this content, all this so-called violent content that breaks community guidelines, it's on YouTube already. We're just trying to use this content as teaching moments, as a motivating factor of why everyone on planet Earth should be attempting to replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice, or else we're gonna have a ton of white people just in conflict with each other, and during that conflict, many of non-white people will be destroyed, as what happens throughout time again. All right, let me see.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, as far as I understand the whole psychology of white supremacy in regards to this type of behavior where they call themselves nigger, etc., as far as I can make out, for quite a long time now, white people have, or suspected white supremacists, people have always liked to ally themselves with black people or compare themselves to black people when they're engaged in incorrect activity, right? So they don't so that's why they'll call themselves quote unquote niggers, but you know, they'll call themselves niggers, but they won't actually really want to be treated like actual niggers, like non-white people in a system of racism, white supremacy. They're not victims of racism, white supremacy, and they know it, and they fully understand the power relationship that they have in comparison to non-white people. And I remember there's a guy, a well-known historian, claimed to be historian over here, called David Starkey, and he made a similar sort of comparison when the London riots were happening a few years ago, and the white people, when he started seeing all these videos circulating of white people engaging in the riots and the looting over here, etc., he tried to say that these white people were engaging in this activity because they're influenced by quote unquote black culture. There's a well-known white historian over here called David Starkey, and he said that they're doing that because they're influenced by black culture. So this whole notion of white people are nice, white people are pure, and if they do anything wrong, it must be because they're influenced by these, you know, these heathen black people. So these white people are in no doubt about, they're fully aware of how the system works, and they know that they're not niggers.
Excellently put, Mr. Smoky Damages. That is an incredible display of white supremacy, and with that David Starkey fellow saying that white people who behave this way are influenced by black culture. Mr. White supremacist, who created black culture? Who put black people in a state of just utter misery and said, the only way I'll let you out of this misery if you be a entertaining nigger. Who put black people in this position to create, to arrange black culture? Because black people don't create anything. No one creates anything according to logic. So who has allowed non-white black people to arrange black culture? White people. And very interesting that black culture never consists of learning, consists of being serious. It's always consists of having fun or dancing or something like that, or being violent. So David Starkey, phenomenal display of white supremacy. Black culture is the result of white supremacy, racism. Thank you, everyone, for your impeccable insight. All right, I'm gonna play the Portman rap. I'm gonna play the Portman rap. Let me stop the recording so I don't get flagged for this. So pause recording. Mrs. Damage, does she say nigga on this one?
She does not say the word nigger, but it's quite clear that she obviously is mocking black people. Quite clear, I suspect. And I suspect most white people that looked at that, this is the second one she did for Saturday Night Live, and the first one, they got lots and lots of views, and this is what prompted her to do the second one as well, because the first one got quite a lot of views. This one got even more views apparently, and the joke is obviously the in joke among a lot of suspected white supremacists is that's what the joke is. It's a well-known white female who's just mimicking, the destructive behaviors of black people, which they've allowed to continue.
Brilliant understanding of what is happening with this rap. Yeah, this is very cliche as well, because I remember when I was more confused, white people would come out with raps and stuff, and I would give it a chuckle. But now I understand that they are just mocking black people. Like for the time that she is doing this act here, she's definitely imagining herself as some sort of black female, I suspect, and it's just really tacky. Natalie Portman is probably not confused about white supremacy at all. Let me see. Yeah, we won't be playing any more of this though. Let's. All right, let's go. This one should be a really quick one.
Nigga. That's right. You call me a nigga? Man, get your motherfucking ass out. Hey. Shut the fuck up. Goddamn, you call me a nigga? That's right. You call me a nigga? Man, get your motherfucking ass out. Hey.
So it's just a video I stumbled across. Not the best reaction to being called nigga, but hey, the black male reacted in a manner that he did, and he removed the problem from the vicinity, it seems. So
hey, he did what he did.
exactly. He did what he did. Continuing, which and I'm playing this one next because this is how that one could have ended, because we all know the system of white supremacy is in place because white people are cowards and need something to hide behind, and they hide behind the system of white supremacy. So let me play this clip right here.
Don't do it. That's why your eye bleed. That's why your eye bleed. I took the beating because you took the beating because that's why I would have gone to jail. I know you would. And I'll be wrong if I knock the fuck out of him right now, wouldn't I?
I would have gone to jail.
Get the fuck
I
out
would have
of
gone to jail.
Boy, you
Here, see, record it. Come on, record it.
Record your hand too. Record your hand too. That's why you was on the ground with your punk ass. Then what? Now do it. Do it. Do it. You see this, right? So when I knock you the fuck out, don't say nothing. I got it. This ain't gonna come. So when I knock you the fuck out, don't say nothing.
Yeah, so
when
the
I knock
part.
you the fuck. Move. 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 Stop. Move, bro. Move. Bend that. Bend that. Bend fucking ass. Bend that. Move, bro. Get out. Move. Beat me first. Get out. Beat it then. Go on. Hit me first, right? Hit me first, right?
Did you get the part where he said he was gonna go in and help you? Yeah.
You might have gone.
I hope everyone can hear the crying that the white man is doing on the floor. You know, I just don't. You know, the white man could have avoided all of this by not practicing racism and white supremacy. But you know, they just can't help it. It seems, you know, he had to practice white supremacy, and this was his results, being brutalized. Experiencing counter violence from a black male is what this is. The black male defended himself with some counter violence / counter war, and black self-respect, I think, and even more black self-respect for the black male telling his associate to not help him in the conflict. So that was also another example of black self-respect. But yeah, like Gus T. Renegade says, if you're not prepared, you know, not prepared to die, you know, Mortal Kombat, you don't, you know, just leave people alone. It's very simple to not end up on the floor wailing, crying, weeping. Very easy to avoid this situation if you just leave people alone, especially victims of racism. You know, if you're not gonna help us solve the problem, you know, at least you know, just stop disturbing us, stop terrorizing us with the thought, speech, and action. Comments, observations?
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that you emphasized that it was counter violence, because you know, according to logic, if it was just words, then I personally wouldn't react. I wouldn't react that way if it was only words. But the fact that the white person did put his hands on the black person first, so he reacted accordingly. I think, right? But yeah, if it was just words, I'd say, you know, you carry on calling me a nigger, because as far as I'm concerned, I definitely am. I'm a victim of racism and white supremacy. So you carry on. You call me a nigger in as many languages as you like. You can't pay me to give me any kind of reaction. But you know, if you touch me, you might just, you know, I'll leave it there.
Well put. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, sir. I was just going to add that Mr. Fuller, I've heard him in previous recordings, an excellent question for white people, you know, when called a nigger, you know, well, probably not a question, but, you know, you all get the point, I suspect. Come show me what you do to niggers. You can call me a nigger, you know, whatever, all day long. That is correct. The definition, the compensatory definition for nigger is victim of white supremacy. Now that we've got that out the way, come show me what you do to niggers. Otherwise, keep it moving.
Epic, constructive response. You know, are you gonna another one? Are you gonna? No, I'll just leave it at that. That was really well put, Mr. Ray. Let's see, where are we going? Where are we going to next? Are we going to? I know which one. Give me a second to get it on the screen, courtesy of Smoking Damages. Let's here it is.
To be this way, and also I think that it's God, because I really think that I was born to love black women and born to stand up for the black race itself. I feel like I wish that more people would stand up for minorities and stuff.
Ooh,
Cough, cough.
minorities and stuff. You stand up for the the black race. Notice the quote, the throat clearing after he said that, because he knew he was spitting up some bullshit. I suspect. You know how
Right?
how are you standing up for the black race while raping black females while you pretend it's sex or it's a relationship? When the power dynamic is that of a adult and a child, the white man being the adult, the child being the non-white female. So it's really incredible that God sent him here to help the black race. This person hasn't even came to the book club to do an interview. So he's not even he can't even help the so-called black race, which does not exist. He can't even help the black race in that manner. So I just think this Cup of Joe individual, white supremacist, is just an awesome example of how just easy it is for a white person to amass a following of confused victims and white people who appreciate what he's doing, because he's teaching other white people how to capture black females and have the black female think that they actually are an equal partner, or that they're actually in love. It's just insane. I really have seen a pattern of white people saying God sent them there to do X, Y, and Z. I'm pretty sure Couple Joe has no videos directly talking about the system of white supremacy, but he has a ton of videos talking about how he likes black females. So his God sent him here to solve the race problem or help the so-called black race, or did his God send him here to just rape black females and enjoy doing it? I think it's the latter. I don't think I'm an error either. Comments, observations.
I agree. And I definitely noticed him clear his throats after he said that his white God sent him to planet Earth to help the black race. What a load of garbage. I highly doubt that he is doing anything that benefits the lives of any black people on planet Earth. He definitely, if he is practicing having sex with black females, then I suspect that he is, raping them, because while the system of racism, white supremacy exists, all sex between white people and non-white people is, just not correct behavior and should be treated as, sexual violence slash. I don't want to say the word again on the channel, but you know what I mean.
I hate to add salt to the wound, but here we go.
Hey everybody, introducing the birthday girl, Tyrannosaurus Rex, aka my girlfriend, on her birthday. That's it, guys. Her birthday. That's it, guys.
All right, so I'm kind of can you pause? Oh, there you go. So again, no mention of this black female's name. Apparently she's his dinosaur. And again, back to the other video where he says minorities and stuff, should be an indication of where his thinking really is. He really doesn't give much thought to the race problem, nor does he give much thought to his partner. I mean, his captured partner in this video. She's simply some sort of accessory, some sort of there could be him calling her a dinosaur, or just the Urugu and their ability to just see non-white people as anything but people. I suspect this female is being mistreated every interaction she has with this individual, especially the interactions that go on in the bedroom. Go ahead, Mr. Ray.
Has anyone ever looked up the origin of the term couple, Joe? Has that been discussed? I can read it really quick.
Oh, please do. Please do. And I'll share something that I know about the term.
Okay. Okay. So this is from wearethemighty.com. Way back in the day, drinking alcohol on Navy ships was the norm for sailors. However, during President Woodrow Wilson's administration, Josephus Daniels was appointed as the newest Secretary of the Navy. After he took position, Daniels decided that the United States needed to clean up a negative image surrounding sailors. To do this, he increased the numbers of religious chaplains in service, banned prostitutes from naval bases, and worst of all, banned personnel from consuming alcohol on vessels. Although sailors hated the idea, General Order 99 was issued June 1st, 1914. Because of the alcohol ban, sailors found their beverage options very limited on ships, but they had plenty of coffee to sip on. In the absence of anything stiffer, a cup of black coffee was the strongest option for sailors. So they began referring to it as a cup of Josephus Daniels, as a bitter reminder of the man who took the booze away.
Wow. I'm reminded on how the Delectable Negro, there's a one part of that book where there's a slave master, and every morning he has to abuse one of his slaves, and he likens that to his cup of morning coffee. He wakes up and brutalizes his slave, and that's his coffee. So definitely incorrect. Joe seems to be highly refined and practicing racism and white supremacy. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Wow, that is really interesting. That is really interesting. The translation of his name is so basically his name literally translates as cup of black.
Yeah, exactly.
Cup of black, basically. And so taking into account his other videos where he said why he likes black women, and when he admitted, and the video's still up there, he said he has a fetish for black women. He said, I guess you can call it a fetish, right? So I suspect the black female that he's with, it probably is severely confused about racism, white supremacy, and what it means to be white in that system. So that's probably why he's with her. He's certainly not going to be, or even attempt to be, with any black female that wants to end the system of racism, white supremacy in any way, shape, or form, I suspect. And and I did do a quick scan of his other videos, so where he's talking about he thinks it's God, kind of ordained him to love black women and black people in general. There's none of his videos, zero of his videos have anything to do with eliminating that system of racism, white supremacy. So it definitely must be pointed out that what he said there, his complete contradiction, is not consistent with his YouTube channel, and also the fact that he still is promoting his so-called book of his slave relationship with this non-white female. It's set, I think the last installment is something about the black female getting whipped. She's actually relaying a story about how she was getting whipped or something. And this is the type of all the stories he could actually pick to talk about so-called interracial love, or whatever, how you term it, right? The one he's chosen to promote is one where, it's a white male with basically a literal slave woman, and obviously at that time it's reasonable to see that and to understand that black females couldn't even refuse the sexual advances of a white male at that time. So that's quite interesting, Cup of Joe, that you've decided to tell that type of story if you're listening. Interesting, Cup of Joe.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna make a quick comparison to this video. The title is "Here's My Girlfriend." We never learned her name, besides Tyrannosaurus Rex. But if you see here, I'm just gonna click it so it's on the screen. His pets have names, Bo and AJ. You know, so it's just something to think about. The black female didn't get a name. These pets.
That is interesting.
So it's just something I noticed, and when you were sharing, go ahead, Mr. A.
I just had three really quick observations. Cup of Joe. He may feel like a black male ingesting that dark substance. And that reminds me that the strongest coffee that I know about is entitled Black Insomnia. And the racist white supremacists, as Mr. Fuller put it, burn midnight oil. So yeah, Black Insomnia. And you saying that his black female victim name is Tyrannosaurus Rex. Unless I'm in error, that's a dinosaur, and they are extinct. So she should get out of there pretty quickly.
Excellent observation. I didn't even put two and two together. Thank you, Mr. A. Any more on Mr. Cup of Joe, aka white supremacist? All righty, let's see what we have next. But let's just go to it. I haven't seen this video. I just know it was sent to me by one of the a book club member.
Definitely not race.
God damn it! I just oopsie my bad.
Or like not children's. Definitely not race. Or like doesn't depend on your race.
Story time. White guys leave their babies to what the F? Please do part two. Okay, let's see what she's talking about.
Well, fucked up that you think that just because a man's white, he can't abandon his children. But, okay. But yes, my ex is white. He was very, very abusive. And he abandoned me, this child, and the 4 others that we actually have together that I don't have in my custody because of being with him. So, yeah. White people or white men abandon their children too.
Yeah. That was I think that was constructive. We see here a black female sharing her experiences with a white man, and she lost 4 of her children to the system of social services, perhaps, and the white father is no longer in the black child's life. Could have been. I'm pretty sure this is very common. I'm pretty sure some white people will procreate and produce a non-white child and then regret it, and will be egged on by their family to come back to the white side. And then when that happens, you have situations like this. But I appreciate this female's like honesty and just sharing with just the reality of the stereotype of black males abandoning their children is not even true. That is a result of the system of white supremacy. It has set up so many obstacles and barriers that prevents black males and black females from being the parents that they should be. So really, really tragic. Should be a lesson. Should be a warning to black females who are attempting to go to the bedroom with white people. Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, all this entertainment has convinced you that white people are your friends. They can be your romantic match. It's all lies. White people are not here to help us in any way, shape, or form. If they were, the system of white supremacy would have been eliminated. It would not exist. So stay out of the bedroom with white people. In a system of justice, it may be okay to have sex with white people, but until we get there, one of the few bargaining chips we have is our body. We have to like let white people know that we are no longer having sex with them until the system has been eliminated. And once we make that declaration, we may see just how we may see the true nature. Because I suspect if we say no more sex to white people, I think they will find a way to get that sex, and it won't be pleasant, and it won't be so that's my 2 cents to this. I'll mute my line.
Yeah, just say no. Now I realized that during the video there was the instrumental of "Say Yes" playing, but no, say no. And saying no to white people when in regards to sex, we will start to see their true nature. I do believe, it's just my personal opinion, my VGQ, that white people have lasted as long as they have on the planet. And these numbers because of sex with non-white people globally. Now, non-white people globally, they are in genetic deficiency now. So we can help them along the way. They can preserve their whiteness, what have you. No sex with white people until the system of white supremacy is over with. Just say no.
Yeah, like Ronald Reagan's wife said, just say no. Just say no to the white phallus and the white Yannick. Just say no. Yeah. All right, continuing. Let me see what's next. I just
period. Puss that hoe can never. Don't play with that girl because she is not one of them. Yeah, fuck you talking about. Mrs. Put that shit on. Fuck you talking about. Period. Puss that hoe can never.
So another example of a white female having some fun with the behavior that white people have conditioned amongst non-white people. She's doing the black scent. She has her hair in that manner, and she's just having a good time. She did. There's a slight pause in the video right here because she's trying to find like to remember what else do ghetto black females say, and she's in a very nice car. So she's just doing it for fun. I'm sure she's living a very comfortable life, as most white people do in the system of white supremacy. But white people will want to have their fun, and one of the best ways they have their fun, I hope this broadcast has been able to display, is that they have fun by practicing racism in many, many, many ways.
I strongly suspect with the theatrics she's displaying, she still wants her grandchildren to be white.
Agree. And yep, what Helen B said, she's probably making a lot of money, with this black scent, with her little TikTok. I'm serious. It reminds me of Bad Baby or whatever. That little young white chick who's now a millionaire just for literally just being a ghetto white bitch. She's a trashy, tacky ghetto white bitch, and now she's a millionaire just simply for using black scents and wearing the eyelashes in their fingernails and being tacky and trashy, because they give her money and black females see her behavior and they of course mimic it, and it just perpetuates the ghetto glorification that is happening on planet Earth. Comments, because observations. All right, another one. Here we have Ben and Jerry's, Colin Kaepernick's "Change the World." I know my rights. Ice cream. It's just amazing. These white men have been selling ice cream to black people, which is a poison disguised as a food. We really shouldn't be consuming a lot of ice cream at all, especially if you already have a lot of health issues, a lot of weight on their bodies. Ice cream is the last thing we should be putting in our bodies. But white people have understood and learned that, hey, if we put a black person on it, or we make this like political so-called pro-black, black people will probably buy it. And that's what Ben and Jerry has been doing. A lot of people think Ben and Jerry are like, good white people, but selling poison to people is not a good thing. So I think this is just another form of mockery. Yeah, just racist imagery for you.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought it's patronizing, mockery again, just white supremacists having fun, mocking their victims in a system of racism and white supremacy and using it to make money, using our victimization to make money. You're gonna put a non-white person's face on your product and say change the what's it called? Change the what?
The world, like a swirl or something.
Yeah, change. I mean, that's just. I mean, they're having such fun. They are having such fun, and just at our expense, basically. The Ben and Jerry's are not talking about ways of how to end the system of racism, white supremacy. They're not talking about that at all. I guess they just don't. They just not going to go there at all. And I mean, they have a massive sphere of influence, as a lot of white people do, so-called powerful or not powerful white people, and they could be using their platform and their products to actually talk about racism, white supremacy, and call it racism, white supremacy, if their intentions were genuine. But clearly they're not. It's just another way to make money. And like you said, 0526, unfortunately, because the confusion is so rife among a lot of us, a lot of our our fellow victims, there are probably some, a lot of our fellow victims that will run out and buy some Ben and Jerry's because there's a black person on it who's talking about so-called racism. Very sad.
Helen B mentions a significant point that Colin Kaepernick has a white parent, so that's probably how he probably managed to get this collaboration with the Ben and Jerry's. Yeah, I really appreciate the way you understand and discuss the system, Mr. Smogadam. Just very insightful.
I'd love to actually ask Ben and Jerry's a question if I could as well. I'd actually like to ask them, how does that help to eliminate that system of racism, white supremacy? Even if they don't want to call it a system of racism, white supremacy, whatever they want to call it, how does this help to solve the problem? And I would encourage more non-white people to ask Ben and Jerry's in whatever kind of way they can. Ask them, how does that help black people? How does that eliminate the system of racism, white supremacy? I suspect if they're honest, they'll have to say, well, it doesn't. It just makes us some money. That was the intention, Negroes. This is what we put it together for. Come on now.
Well put. Well put. All right, 26 seconds of violence coming your way. I gotta. My bad. I know these squares are in the way.
When I walk through, I got sauce too. Came with the gang, chopper rain, get her up, shine. When I walk through, yeah, she fine. Then who brought you? Twins in the beans once again. Yeah, I brought two. When I walk through, deal for the.
guess, they're just as happy as can be white man sexually raping this black female. Just you can see right here, he's having at the time of his life. This song definitely I did hear the nigga in this song as well. They tend to love to do that when they make these little videos. They have a song with the word nigga in it because he may feel like a nigga having access to this black female who tragically is just happy as can be to be with this white supremacist. And if you are having sex with black people as a white person, you are automatically a white supremacist because having sex with a non-white person as a white person is the most aggressive act of racism that a white person can commit, because it causes hella confusion, not only for the person who is being victimized, who is being raped, but for the people who see them and say, hey, I want a white partner too. Hey, that's cute. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's severely wrong. I guarantee all these tragic arrangements that are taking place between white people and non-white people, the second race is mentioned, racism, white supremacy is mentioned, the whole energy field will shift, and that white person will get annoyed, flustered, and he'll go and find he'll leave that non-white person and go find a more confused victim and start the process all over again. So you cannot fight racism while having a white man or a woman in your bedroom, and a white person cannot fight racism while having a black male or black female in the bedroom. It's just not gonna happen. Go ahead, Mr. Ray.
Yes, I'm just reminded of a suggestion that Dr. Wilson had put out for non-white people in tragic arrangements with white people. During sexual intercourse, just stop and ask, what do white people talk about when there are no black people around? And if that person is genuine in their intentions about being against racism, white supremacy, they'll tell you. But if they're not, the sexual act will stop. That just came to mind. It shouldn't happen in the first place, but just putting that out there.
I don't know how much.
Does someone want to comment on the last video before I continue?
Yeah, I think maybe a really good question for any non-white person to ask a white person involved in a tragic relationship with a non-white person is to just ask them something like, what do you think of other black people who refuse to have sexual relations with a white person during the system of racism, white supremacy? What do you think of that? And then just wait for their answer.
Yeah. Great responses from Mr. Ray, Mr. Damages. Thank you both. Continuing. Area 3 sports coming your way.
I don't know how much you've seen of Moncada, but everybody talks of this guy should be a star, an all-star.
That's what they look like. I don't know about the rest of it. First time I saw him in the big leagues, I looked around the dugout and I said, can we have one of those? That's what they look like.
Get a 40-acre field full of them.
I mean, he's strong.
Get a 40-acre full of them. Full of what? Non-white people who look like this. Destruction of the civilization types. Really, just amazing that this was like happened on air, and this white person was just so casual with it. He's literally saying that we need to get more non-white people like this. Like he's literally at the auction block, he's waiting at the ports for the ship to come in to pick the best ones. But this is what sports is. It's literally like highly refined slavery, just like all existence. If you are a non-white person, is a form of slavery. So I just not much to say. Just if you understand racism and white supremacy are just how words are used, you should be able to see how this white person saying this person like this white person sharing these words to the public is just incredible. And I'm gonna mute my line to see if folks like to chime in. Maybe I'm gonna play it again because it is only 18 seconds, and maybe folks that didn't hear it entirely. So I'm gonna play it again actually.
I don't know how much you've seen of Moncada, but everybody talks of this guy should be a star, an all-star.
That's what they look like. I don't know about the rest of it. First time I saw him in the big leagues, I looked around the dugout and I said, "Can we have one of those?" That's what they look like.
Get a 40-acre field full of them.
I mean, he's strong.
You've seen of.
Can we have more of those? Literally, like he's searching for something, and like non-human.
Yeah, it's like he wants to order like a field of animals. It's like, can we have some more of these pets, please? Can we have some more of these pets? Can we have some more of these non-white pets? Yeah, it's tragic.
Yeah, and it seems like go ahead, say sorry.
No, I was just saying, yeah, he appears to be of good stock. That's it.
Yeah, and it seems like they would love to replace all the dark skinned black males playing baseball with this type. If you read The Destruction of Civilization, this is a pattern that happens often. Replace the black males with the non-white males who have black in them somewhere, but they may have been victimized to a degree where they will never consider themselves black. So just really a lot of confusion and a lot of racism being displayed here.
See, I like this. I like this type of stuff. This is how I like my white supremacists. You know, I like honest white supremacists. Come out, tell us what you really think. And you know, this is what I don't like the deceptive white supremacists. If you want to come out and call us niggas or whatever, or you want to say, yeah, man, I want to order another 100 of these Negroes or whatever. Yeah, come out and say that. That's how I like it. You know, because most non-white people, they really don't think that this is what white people say and that how white people talk about us. This is how most white people, I suspect, talk about us. And all the white people that I've met in my life, when they've been really honest with me, they tell me that's exactly how white people talk about black people. So, you know, more honest white supremacists like this.
Yeah, so I wonder if we got in trouble for this. Probably not. Probably went under the radar. Probably went unnoticed. But shout out to whoever sent this to the WhatsApp. Again, very constructive. 18 seconds, and a lot can be learned here about white supremacy, what it is and how it works. You know, the whole legacy of slavery continues just by his combination of words. 40 acres. Let's get some more of them. Let's just the slavery did not end. It just got super refined. Super refined.
Message to non-white people who are watching this video. This is what white people think of us. This is what white people, when they see us, this is what they're thinking. And look what he said. We need to get out of entertainment. We need to get out of sports. And this is reason 999 why we need to get out of sports. Please, non-white people, get out of sports.
Dang. Well put, Miss Helen. Very, very correct. All right, let me see what else is on the docket. I think this will be. Oh no, I do have some example of black self-respect. I'm gonna play the example of black self-respect first. Let's see if I can, awesome example of black self-respect. Just a really pleasant video. You know, we've been able to just. This is on list 2 right here, but I'm just gonna play this one first, and then we're gonna get back into the incorrectness of the system. All right. You know, we've been in the trenches, so I'm gonna something pleasant before we continue our discussion on the race problem.
Oh, that was good. Now, if you do it like that, that's it. That's it.
All righty. So yeah, black self-respect, you know, just a black male and his offspring. Teaching, just teaching, it's a teaching moment, and it's very pleasant and it's very constructive to be teaching a offspring, honestly, anything of constructive value. And I think this activity could be constructive for like an exercise or just for whatever. It's just nice to see a black male and their offspring being constructive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to assist her in reaching some type of economic success and pursuing a skateboarding career, because you start something when you're a young offspring and you continue to do it, you can earn trinkets, you know, in the system. So we may have a young Tony Hawk in our hands.
All righty. And I think, let me pause, share. I think I'm gonna have some more black self-respect videos. Send an attachment. Oh yeah, I do have another one. Another black self-respect video.
Okay. What's assets?
Assets are things that bring money into your bank account.
What's liabilities?
Liabilities are things that take money out your bank account.
Entrepreneurship is the act of becoming an entrepreneur. What's entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship is a process of setting up a business or businesses.
Taking on a greater than normal
financial risk.
What's an entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur is a person that organizes and operates a business or businesses.
Also taking on a greater than normal
financial risk.
What's financial mean?
Money.
And what's risk mean?
Chance.
Come on. What does it mean to own stock?
When you own a share of a company.
Come on. What's real estate investing?
Real estate investing is when you invest in a immovable property.
What's the 2 types of real estates?
Commercial real estate and residential real estate.
What's commercial real estate?
Commercial real estate is property for businesses and workspace, like an office, store, or land.
And what's residential real estate?
Property to live on, like a house, apartment, or condominium.
Come on. It comes with extra fees when you have real estate, you feel me? Daddy tells you how many times he pays his state property tax a year.
Once a year.
What's the type of maintenance fee?
Cutting grass.
Come on. What's HOA?
Homeowner Association.
And what comes along with that?
HOA fee.
Come on. And when it comes to the brokerage percent, what percent is that?
7.
Come on. What's equity?
Equity is the difference between what your business is worth minus what you owe on it.
Also assets minus
liabilities and debt.
Good job. What's credit report?
Credit report is like a report card letting you know how well you did by paying your money back you borrowed.
And how does credit affect your life?
The better you keep your credit, the more opportunities you'll have to get funding.
And what large purchases like?
A car or a house.
Come on. And always repay what you
owe.
Because if you owe somebody, that means you're in
debt.
And you never want to be in
debt.
Because that means you
owe somebody.
And we don't never owe
somebody.
Because that ain't what suckers do, period. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Some black self-respect. Nothing more pleasant than seeing a black male teaching an offspring some constructive information. I do hope this Black child is also being taught about the system of white supremacy along with the skateboarder. But nonetheless, Black self-respect to a very, very high degree. And maybe even any comments on the Black self-respect videos? Alrighty, maybe y'all have seen this video making the rounds, but this is very telling of the system of white supremacy, what it is and how it works. I'm just here. What we have here is a non-white male using what white supremacists have called the great equalizer, which is the gun. Now, white people very much understand that the great equalizer, the gun, is how they have dominated the entire planet. Without guns, they would not have been able to take over the entire planet. So when they see a non-white person with a gun, it's just something about a non-white person with a great equalizer that threatens white people, white supremacists, I'm pretty sure for racist logic reasons, because they understand that if non-white people were to get serious about solving the problem, if we were to practice counter violence in a more constructive manner, then they would have a serious problem on their hands, because there's more non-white people, Black people on the planet than there are white people. So if they didn't have their nukes and hydrogen bombs and phosphorus gas and all these deadly chemical weapons and weapons of mass destruction, and we were to just have a gunfight to end the problem, it would be very, very easy for non-white people to win, just because we have more numbers to them. But they've created a system where it's very hard for us to get guns, to get educated in just handling firearms. And just, I think I may be in error, but I suspect white people are aware of where the most non-white people reside. And in those places, it has the most strict gun laws. For example, an area of the world known as California has a ton of Black people. I think that's why it's very hard to get a gun over here versus a place like, I don't know, Virginia, Kentucky. Very easy to get guns over there, I suspect. Probably because of not that many Black people over there. But, and this clip reminds me of a non-white male who was killed in a firing range because simply because he's a non-white male. He was using a gun he just bought. A white person pretended to be friendly with him, and as the Black male was leaving, he got shot in the back. So just still, even in a place like a shooting range, firing range, still very dangerous for a non-white male to be. So yeah, and just look at the faces. Look at it. Look at the concern. Look at the fear. You know, look at the concern. Very telling of what we're dealing with. Go ahead, sir.
That's because that non-white male has a gun and he has a weapon. On a past broadcast of the cows, I heard someone mention that it's common amongst military law enforcement that the gun is the phallus, but your weapon is your firearm. Very telling. So non-white males, we're not allowed to have a gun and a weapon.
Correct, especially when we're not using those guns to kill other non-white people under the guise of the so-called U.S. military. So very telling. I suggestion non-white people educate yourself in firearms and owning firearms because it's very maybe necessary just for a simple home defense. Just simple home defense. And just giving me a personal experience. The first day I moved over into this new concentration camp, it was middle of the night, and there was someone was banging on my door, attempting, I don't know, just banging on my door. And who knows, that person could have like attempted to get in here. And hey, I don't have any firearms. So please begin to understand the importance of like home defense, and white people are very serious. White people have a ton of guns. So it's about time we follow suit. Let me see. Is there anything else? One more, I believe. All right, the last clip right here is another Area 3. I'm just gonna let it rock. We'll discuss it after.
먼저 천사가 나타나서 예언을 합니다. 먼저 예언을 듣는 수치인의 이름을 이야기하게 돼요. 누구누구 당신은 몇 날 몇 시에 죽는다. 그리고 지옥에 간다. 그리고 그 시간이 되면 그 예언은 지옥의 사자들을 통해 이루어집니다.
All righty. This is just anti-blackness, racism, white supremacy in full effect. Just for the folks who will find this video once upon a time in the future, please understand that this is a really, really just in your face racism. We have giant, dark, black figures chasing people through the streets. And not only are they big, tall, dark, and black, but they also came from hell. So if you are not aware, this is I guess perspective that white people want to spread around the planet. They want people afraid of black things, dark things, and this is how they're promoting it. They're producing content like this. It reminds me of how people are afraid of the dark, are afraid of nighttime, and it just it relates so much to white supremacy. you have so much time and energy and effort being put into producing this show, which is literally going to be about tall, dark, black figures chasing around people, killing them. And this imagery has came from every single direction since white people have been controlling the planet and dominating the planet. So this should be really obvious racist imagery. This should be really obvious as to what is happening. And the title, Hellbound, it's making me think that if you come in contact with these dark figures, or if you come into contact with black people, you are hellbound. So white people are really trying to keep up the mentality that black is bad, dark is bad, and you should be afraid of it. You should be afraid of us, non-white people, black people. You should be afraid of darkness. And this is just, wow. I'm sure this show will be super, super successful. We'll have a ton of memes. And I'm sure on 4chan, on Chimp Out, there's already memes with people portraying these figures to black people. Do not watch the show. Please don't support this show. Just gross. Whoever is behind this, gross individuals, incorrect thinking individuals, highly confused individuals, unless they're white, of course. Then they know exactly what they're doing. And I'll mute my line.
I agree with what Helen B just said in the chat, that I suspect that white supremacists are probably trying to get black people to fight with other non-white people. They're just trying to get non-white people to fight each other. That's what it is, I think. And also, I think the obvious one there is Fear of a Black Planet, right? Fear of a Black Planet, Public Enemy album, and also, Planet of the Apes, obvious one there as well. That's a fear of a lot of white people. And I remember I've asked a lot of white people this same question. What do you think that black people will do when or if the system of racism, white supremacy ends? And I imagine most white people imagine a scenario like the clip we just saw. And that's a massive motivating factor for why white people continue to practice racism, white supremacy. They are such in fear that maybe one day black people may get a little more power than we have now.
Yeah, and that's a part of the paranoid psychopath that is the white collective, because the record shows that black people aren't trying to enact revenge on white people. If that was the case,
exactly.
We see school shootings up the yin yang. We see black people pulling up and just eliminating white people every day. That's what we would be seeing if large numbers of non-white people wanted to enact revenge on white people. But no, the majority of us just want a system of justice, guaranteeing no one is mistreated and those who need help receive help. It's very, very simple what we are demanding. But nope, white people have said, nah, keep being niggers. We're gonna keep you. We're gonna keep promoting your image in this manner. You guys are nothing more than brutes, animals, savages from hell, and you are hellbound. You're hellbound. Stay away from the black people, or you're also gonna be hellbound. I'm sure this is gonna promote a ton of more conflict between non-white people and non-white people classified as black. Non-white people who are black and are in South Korea or China or Hong Kong, and they see and they're gonna experience more mistreatment solely because of this show right here. Little kids are gonna watch this show. Next thing you know, they're gonna see a black person walking down the street and they're gonna be terrified. I'm reminded of back when we were talking to those white supremacists during our code book studies, and the white woman told us that she was literally taught to be afraid of black people, that she would run away from the black kids. So this show seems to be promoting that exact that the same thing, you know, promoting fear of the Black Panther, as Smoking Diamond just said, and it's just gross. Again, Area 7 is very much tied to this as well because non-white people across the globe, so-called Asian, so-called everything, is so indoctrinated in this religion. South Korea particularly is indoctrinated heavily with this religion and Christianity. So combining that and combining religion and entertainment, super deadly. It's just super whack. All righty, and that concludes the. Oh, go ahead.
Really quick, it's probably also not a coincidence that this is coming out November 19th, which on the same day in 1863, Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address after the Civil War, a war in which the white supremacists slaughtered each other because they couldn't decide on what to do with the black people. Just throwing that out there.
No coincidences. No coincidences in the system of white supremacy at all. Yeah, I'm sure this is a form of this is just, you know, white power casting spells on the masses to create more animosity towards black people who are already at the bottom, experiencing immense misery. But that's the system for you. And unless people are serious about solving the problem, there's gonna be 10 seasons of Hellbound, 10 seasons, you know. Yeah, so that
I'd say that's one of the worst examples of anti-black propaganda racism that I've seen for quite a while on film.
Same, and it's probably even like going more unnoticed because we are led to believe that it's coming from non-white people classified as Asian. But who put these thoughts in their head? Who trained them in a manner that they're able to arrange this sort of content together? Had to be white people. Had to be. And that concludes the collection of content. I hope it was very constructive, and I hope some things were learned. That being said, let's move into closing comments. I will begin by sharing that this meeting did alleviate some of my incorrect feelings earlier. And yeah, that's my closing comment right there.
Yeah, countering racism should be fun. This is what I call fun. Working out, you know, trying to make sense of the system of racism, white supremacy. Gaining a bit more of an understanding into how white people view how white people view themselves and how they view us. And I am of the same opinion that I haven't seen any evidence that white people are going to voluntarily cease the practice of racism, white supremacy.
Yeah, most certainly not most certainly not.
I just want to again ask the good white people at YouTube to not take this video down. The majority of the content that was played is from you all. And even if it was from TikTok or some other platform, we understand that you all exist and work together in conglomerate. I would like to end reading an excerpt from the Revised Expanded Edition, page 196 of the Code, Neely Fuller Jr. What is a poetic and truthful way to describe yourself as a non-white person existing within the system of white supremacy racism? What I am, I owe to the white supremacist races. What they are, they owe to me. What I am and what they are, neither of us is as we should be. Although you may complain about what I say or complain about what I do, Think of how I got this way and ask if it's true of you. Everything true that is said of me is the result of my training by the powers that be.
Wow, excellent reading. Let's say, what page was that on again?
196.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think sir is a way. So I am gonna read something from the chat that's very interesting, related to the Hellbound clip. VGQ, greetings. Rate this record, Rayel, Roland, Tony Yak, the Joneses, always keeping it 100. Thanks for participating in the stream. From Rate This Record, he says, VGQ, overheard my neighbor, white dude, talking to the same about a big black dude. Overheard my white neighbor say, I'll go gorilla on him. Yeah, very common in system white supremacy. If they view non-white people as monkeys, then of course they would have to go gorilla on them. So it makes a lot of sense that that verbiage, go gorilla, fight fire at fire, they say. So if black people are monkeys, then that terminology makes a lot of sense. Are considered monkeys by the white supremacists, I should say. But thanks, Mr. Ray, Mr. Smoky Diamonds, Mr. Sarah, for impeccable, incredible input on today's meeting, and definitely looking forward to the next one. And thanks for the chat. If you want to participate, just email counteringRWS@gmail.com and you'll be sent a link. That simple. Replace white supremacy with justice ASAP. Please, I am begging. Alrighty. Any more comments before we close out from the other host?